up, you guys, and welcome to the Chosen League podcast, where fire sports content is the name of the game. I'm your host, Devon. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload an episode. So, today, the Buffalo Bills make it happen. They they're going basically in a change of direction. Breaking news: the Buffalo Bills have promoted offensive coordinator Joe Brady to head coach on a 5-year deal, the team announced Tuesday. Brady replaces Sean McDermott, who was fired last week after the Bills were eliminated by the Denver Broncos in the AFC divisional round of the playoffs. McDermott had spent 9 seasons as a head coach in Buffalo, taking the team to the playoffs in 8 of those seasons. Brady, who is 36, has been with the organization since 2022. Initially joining McDermott's staff as the team's quarterback coach, he was promoted to interim offensive coordinator in November of the 2023 season, and at the same time he was still the quarterback coach. So he was the interim offensive coordinator and a QB coach in 2023. He was promoted to interim offensive coordinator in November of 2023 after then offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey, who they eventually fired. Brady then became the team's full-time offensive coordinator in 2024 and 2025. So, when we look at this, we understand Sean McDermott being there for 9 seasons, getting them to the playoffs in 8 of those seasons. I don't pretty much see any difference with this. I mean, honestly, I feel like they should have kept Sean McDermott. I don't think there was a need to fire him because he's been getting you guys to the playoffs. I feel like, and this has been going on from years to come. If you look at the Buffalo Bills, they had players like Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, who was, good in the regular season, but his postseason didn't have didn't bring too much of a spark. You had players, you had defenses. Josh Allen is playing great statistically every single season. But if I can understand if Sean McDermott is that type of coach that's like, okay, we're not really winning with you. We're not getting to the playoffs as we would like. Then okay, we have to move him out of the picture because it's just not working out. He's not trying to help us win. But I feel like Sean McDermott was doing his thing. But credit to Joe Brady for getting this position as being a head coach, and also this is his first experience. And Josh Allen played a part in this, but we'll get into that later on. So moving on to Joe Brady and his NFL resume. When he was in 2020 and 2021, he was an offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, and as we know, then he later on moved with the Bills, being the QB coach, quarterback coach in 2022, and in 2023 he was the interim offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, and then 2024-25 he was the offensive coordinator. But also during that time when Buffalo was making their way to make Joe Brady a head coach, Sean Payton, if you guys don't know, if you do or don't know, Joe Brady and Sean Payton have a good relationship because they also worked together before in the past. Joe Brady was the offensive assistant for Sean Payton. And Sean Payton had this to say on Joe Brady. According to the NFL Network's league insider Ian Rappaport, Denver Broncos head coach wanted Joe Brady to be his offensive coordinator and perhaps even call plays for him. Because if you guys don't know, Broncos been firing people on their coaching staff. They fired at least three. So I can understand where Sean Payton is coming from, the relationship that they had and they built, and plus, it probably would have helped out for Bo Nix if that was the case. So honestly, it is what it is. Joe Brady is there, and also Josh Allen himself had this to say about Joe Brady because he played a part. in getting Joe Brady hired. You know, seeing out who's the head coach. But this is what Josh Allen had to say. He's been fantastic, Allen said of Brady in 2025. You know, coming into that situation last year, it's not easy to switch play callers mid-year, and he came in, and from that day on, if you look at our splits, our success that we've had as a team, it's noticeable. He's one of the most positive guys in the building. He's always got juice and energy for the guys. I think that's something that we love and appreciate about him. He's as real as they come. So it works out for, you know, in Josh Allen's case, because Josh Allen, a quarterback, loves what Joe Brady brings to this team, this organization. So with that in mind, it makes the quarterback happy. But also, how does it? You got to understand, how does Joe Brady affect the team? And like Josh Allen said, he's a positive guy. So, and let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Question for discussion: are the Bills' Super Bowl chances diminished after hiring Joe Brady? And the last thing I want to cover before I end the show is how Bills fans were reacting to the Joe Brady hire. One fan said, "Seeing the Bills hire Joe Brady as their head coach is the saddest way to start my day. I'm not even a true Bills fan, but do I feel for Josh Allen and the rest of those core guys on that team. Bills will win total under next season." Another fan said, "I don't care anymore. It's a gut punch to the fans of Bills Mafia. Really about to waste Josh Allen, and he's partially to blame, as I'm sure he had a lot to say in picking Joe Brady. Insert another bubble screen on 3rd and long for no gain." That's brutal. Joe Brady, kiss any Super Bowl chance goodbye. Bean and Terry will go down as the worst owner / GM in the history of the Buffalo Bills for wasting Josh Allen's career. Josh Allen, another fan said, "Josh Allen retiring without a Super Bowl appearance," and another one said, "Allen never touching Super Bowl. I'm crying." So, fans have spoke. People, they're not happy about this because, I mean, there were a lot of opportunities to get other coaches. Maybe, you know, at the time, Mike McDaniels was one of those guys to be up there. So they probably thought, hey, we probably would have got Mike McDaniels, but it just didn't work out that way. In conclusion, man, I'm not really feeling this hire. I mean, like I said before, I don't believe that Sean McDermott should have been fired based on what the proof of what he was able to do year in and year out each season with the Buffalo Bills. But you're bringing in a guy who's an offensive coordinator. Yes, he's been with the organization, but he's learned under Sean McDermott, but he doesn't have any coaching experience. So, hey, best of luck to him, and hopefully Bills season may turn around. Who knows? But that's all for today's episode. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload an episode. I'm Devon, and I'm signing off.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show.